Top 10 we have here. PG Anderson, of course, led the rally after the Super Special, but it all went wrong for him after that.
Yeah, highs and lows, leading, fastest stage times on his side, punctures, power steering problems. But here he is. It's his chance to shine and take some points in Sweden.
Absolutely. PG, actually, he's one of those guys that's got nothing to lose. It's only a one-off appearance. We heard earlier, it's been funded by his fan club and his sponsors. A last-minute deal got him this drive. He'll be absolutely desperate to get a couple of extra championship points. We don't know when we're next going to see him in a World Rally car, do we?
Well, no, and also the TV time he can get here. And we saw this morning he was pushing massively to the limit to see where and how fast where he could go, as he appeared backwards through one corner.
Yeah, at least he's got through it this time. Yeah, that's the corner. We lost it earlier, and he's going for it now. Looking nice and tidy, actually, isn't he? He's a very talented driver. He just needs to iron out these mistakes, doesn't he?
I think what he needs is a seasoned package, though, because
well,
then you're not under pressure.
Jules is our current leader, Matt Wilson and Scott Martin watching on.
They'll be hoping that PG doesn't get this
yeah, well, that's the corner he got wrong earlier. PG, he got through there.
I think maybe higher than Al-Qasimi here. Yeah, I think so, but he got it sorted out quicker than Khalid on the landing.
Absolutely. Very tidy driver, PG.
Bits of bumper hanging off. That's been a regular in Sweden for years and years.
Yep. Terrific sound through the
forest, sounds great.
Yeah, there's a smile from Matt. Come on, Matt, give us a smile. You're fastest so far. He's made a career, hasn't he, out of picking up those point-scoring places at the bottom end of the top 10. He's nearly always scoring points, isn't he, Matt?
Consistent driver. You can't ask for any more.
After that tidy run, he could get another couple here. It remains to be seen what PG Anderson can do. I really do hope we see him back. He certainly deserves another go, doesn't he? He's won a few stages this weekend. He's certainly not embarrassed himself on home soil.
No, he called the Stage 2 incident a nightmare in his home France. But the amazing thing was that he put on his website his bank account details, and within 24 hours there's 20,000 euros in there from his fans. You'd need to do that quite a few times to keep continuing.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can do. If he can reward them with a win in this stage, that would be, I think, the next best thing he could do.
Yeah, absolutely. There's still plenty to fight for here this afternoon. It's already been a frenetic weekend for PG. He's certainly been entertaining us, even though he may leave frustrated, but it's not over yet. He's still got something to fight for. The power stage win is still up for grabs. Here he goes. Yeah, wow, what a time. 4 seconds up on Matt. Well, what can you say?
The shoulders said it all, didn't it?
What can you say? I think Matt's off to go home and get a cup of hot chocolate. Probably a bit cold out there, but what a time for PG there.
That was a big time.
Well, let's look at this, Wilson. 4 seconds down, block still third, but look at this man we've got coming up next. Kimi Räikkönen, 2007 Formula One World Champion, back for his second season in the WRC. Best finish last year of 5th in Turkey.
Kimi's in, as I say, second time in Sweden, second year in the World Championship, and a much more promising and encouraging performance this weekend. A puncture and the odd spin, but on a whole, his second year back in the sport has been a much positive start, and we are very, very sideways. And I wasn't sure whether he was going to get round there. Well done, Kimi.
Yeah, well done, Kimi, indeed. Yeah, he really has been in and out of the snowbanks all weekend, but the difference between this year and last year, it's not held him up too much. He's already on course to score a top 8 finish. He did actually finish, I think, 3 top 6 times in a row yesterday afternoon. Nice and tidy over the jump as well.
Kimi, for sure, this year hasn't needed the shovels as many times as last year. And he's looking so much, it's like a different driver from 12 months ago.
Absolutely, the confidence is certainly back, and, well, he's known as the Iceman. He should be good at driving on this stuff, shouldn't he?
I think everyone's an Iceman out there. It's so cold.
Yeah. Well, he did, as a Finn, grow up driving on ice and snow, but you might remember, as Julian said, last year he spent half his time digging his car out the snow. He's certainly learnt a lot of things in the last 12 months. Obviously, pace notes was a big issue, wasn't it? He's got the experienced Kyle Lindstrom alongside him. He's won this rally before.
He has won it with Tommy Mäkinen. Kimi was just quite wide.
Let's have a look at this moment from Kimi on board with him. Yeah, very tidy through there, but it's so easy. Lots of ruts. You bounce out the ruts. He just seemed to drift wide a little bit there, didn't he?
Yeah, you've got to keep in them. It's so hard to keep in. They're so narrow, those ruts.
Yeah, absolutely.
2:24.0 is the time to beat. Kimi is doing pretty well. I'm very encouraged by him, and hopefully he's not got a full season at the minute. He's going to miss 3 to concentrate on testing. to get some more seat time rather than stage times.
Yeah, it's all very well planned out for Kimi these days. Started as a hobby, but I tell you what, he keeps up this rate of progression. Who knows where it could end up? Being a Finn, rallying obviously in Kimi's blood. He absolutely loves it. You can imagine him as a kid driving through the roads of Finland in this. Look at this onboard now. There's the pipe. We know the finish is fast approaching. Easy does it from Kimi. Here come the yellow boards that start the mark of the start of the flying finish. 2:24 dead, the time to beat, remember.
It's gone.
No, he's over, but he might still be in the top 3.
Yeah, 2 seconds
No, second. Well, Kimi, not a bad run at all. Second fastest through, currently on course for 2 World Championship points, but there may be a man who could go a little bit quicker next on the road. What do you think?
Well, this man, we know, he stated at the end of one of the previous stages.
Yeah, what can we say about Sebastian Loeb, the now 7-time world champion, age 36, 62 WRC wins. He's not going to add to that, but can he add the first power stage win to his CV?
The 3 points he needs. He's had not a great weekend in his terms, and as I was saying, in previous stage, he's actually stated this afternoon that he's been driving steadily to conserve his tyres for this stage. He wants the maximum grip out of everything.
Yeah, so he obviously knows that points need to be scored after he's had such a problematic weekend. I mean, when's the last time he had 2 punches, let alone 1 puncher in a weekend?
The last 1 puncture was Sardinia in 09, but I couldn't tell you 2.
No, absolutely. But this man really is a joy to watch. He's won in Sweden before, 2004. A long time ago now, but he is still, yeah, look at that, nice and tidy. Typical Sebastian there.
That's it. Also the Citroen team taking a bit of flavour for the event with the Swedish snowdrop on the roof of the car, getting in with the spirit of the rally. And PG waiting there, 2:24.0. He wants those points.
He really does, he really does. We hope to see PG back in the car again soon.
Let's see, Loeb. You can see the track. It's like a ski run, isn't it? And they've got to keep inside them.
Well, it really is like a ski run anyway. It's downhill all the way, twisting through the trees. Fantastic road in Sweden here.
Listen to that car. Loeb, he's done the same as Block, but not...
I tell you what, when we went through, I didn't see that as a possible position for people to go off, but it's really catching them out, isn't it?
I think they're just trying that a little bit more. They had a little sighter this morning, and now it's points. They're just after
the
points.
Let's take another look.
You see, it's just not quite on the optimum line on the inside.
Almost identical to Ken, wasn't it?
Just didn't go as far in, but here he comes. He's got about 2:24.0 is Anderson's time.
Yeah, it remains to be seen if that small moment will cost him. Obviously, it's only 4.1 kilometres long. The smallest of mistakes can be heavily punished. And Sebastian doesn't make many, but this weekend, well, it's been one to forget.
It has. Those tyres will be crying out. The studs will be digging in. 7 millimetres long they are as they bite into the snow and ice.
Yeah, he does like driving on snow as much as any of these drivers, but he'll be the first to admit his record isn't that great other than that 1 win here. He has won in Norway as well.
The only non-Scandinavian ever to win here, so it's very specialist.
Anyway, we're getting close. So working really hard inside the car there. Let's see, 2:24 dead to beat. I think he could do this, you know. Oh, yeah,
would
1 second quicker, 1 second quicker. Well, what can you say about Sebastian Loeb?
Would we expect anything else?
Of course not. That's Sebastian Loeb. Of course, 5 cars still to run, though. He's still not guaranteed to win, of course. Okay, next up is Sebastian Loeb's teammate, Sébastien Ogier, joining the Citroen Total team full-time for the first time. Another former junior World Rally champion. He's had 34 starts and won 2 rallies last year.
And this driver is still 5th place coming in. Maybe, if there's some dramas in front of him, has a chance of a podium. But I think it's just the points for the power stage he's after, really.
He really did have a terrific fight back on day 2, didn't he? Get a sense just how quick this is. Let's just watch this on board for a second. Tiptoeing his way through these tight corners. This is the corner that called out PG this morning. Yep, and over the crest. Here he comes. Oh,
it's just so quick.
It is. It really is. It really is.
You can see the ice shining. You can hardly walk on it. And these drivers are fully committed. Sebastian neat and tidy over the jump. He wasn't as high this time as this morning.
No. What is terrific about Sébastien Ogier, you've got to remember this is only his 2nd time in Sweden. finished a fantastic 5th, I believe, last year. Yeah, 5th in Sweden last year. But what a run he's had, considering it's only his 2nd time on ice and snow. It really is quite incredible, isn't it?
Well, the driver is phenomenal. He won in Japan on his 1st event. What he will probably take away most, though, from this weekend, if he just continues through, he has got ahead of Loeb overall.
Yeah, absolutely. He did finish 4th in last year's championship after... Well, he looked like he was going to wrap up 2nd quite rapidly, but he faded dramatically towards the end of the season, didn't he?
Yeah, three poor results towards the end of the season. But he said he didn't fear anyone. He wanted to learn his pace. Made a couple of mistakes, but by that point he already had his contract in his pocket for this year.
Yep, absolutely. And you couldn't have a more difficult teammate to work yourself against, could you? Sebastian Loeb.
But Ogier has stated he fears nobody.
Yep.
He wants to be the best. He has to fear nobody.
Yep. And to be fair to Citroën, they have said they're starting this season on a level playing field. There's no #1 driver until the results start to come in, really.
It sounds great.
It does sound great. The Citroën DS3 replacing the Citroën C4. Obviously, no mechanical centered.
Yeah, mechanical centers now, no active diffs.
No active diffs, yeah, and they really do. They do look twitchy, don't they, through some of these corners?
Well, Mikko Hirvonen called his after the first test an angry little bee.
Yeah.
He said because it's buzzing and moving around.
Anyway, here we go into the flying finish. Let's see. 2:23 dead was Sebastian Loeb's time. Oh! 0.3 of a second quicker than his teammate. Well, I'll tell you what, this Citroën rivalry is only just getting started, but if this power stage is anything to go by...
Sebastian Loeb won't like walking away from there.
He certainly won't, and I think you might see a bit of a smile on Mr. Ogier's face at the end of this stage. Anyway, back under starters' orders. Jari-Matti Latvala. Kind of up and down weekend for Jari-Matti. He's still only 25, 4 wins to his name now. And of course, he is the youngest ever winner of a World Rally, 22 years old here 3 years ago.
And I think he wins the prize this weekend for the most bumpers removed from front and rear of a rally car.
He certainly has. Jari-Matti has spent half his time flying past the snowbanks and half his time bouncing off of them, but it's been crude but effective most of the time, hasn't it?
It has, and at the minute he is holding that podium place for the 3rd place overall in this rally. Can he take any more benefit from this power stage and get some more points for himself?
Yeah, he was quickest in the last stage and got himself up to 3rd place. But as you say, there's a couple of extra points on offer here, or 3 if he can get it spot on, nice and tidy over the jump. Let's have a look at that leaderboard. Ogier followed by Loeb, 0.3 of a second. Anderson 1.3 down. All very tight, as we expected on such a short stage.
Well, that's the whole benefit of it. His short stage is meant to give the tense and tightness of the fierce fight that we can have.
Yep, absolutely.
Fans enjoying themselves still. They'd be disappointed because there's no more Swedes to come. We do have a Norwegian still to come, but not a Swede.
Yep. Another flat-out section here. These cars are actually expected to be quicker than their predecessors in 1st, 2nd and 3rd gear corners. They're so nimble, aren't they?
They're all running wider and wider at that corner. He didn't actually clip it, but he was not on the optimum line, I wouldn't have thought. Right on the inside, but they're carrying so much speed now.
Absolutely. I mean, he is known for an extravagant driving style. You almost expected him to suit these cars. They're kind of made to be thrown around more, aren't they?
Yeah, you've got to get hold of them and really throw them around.
Yep, absolutely. Not been particularly tidy this weekend, but as we said, it has been effective.
It's been great to watch.
He has been great to watch, we'll give him that. Co-driven by long-time partner Mika Antila, of course.
Again, now being upgraded to equal #1 with his teammate Mikko Hirvonen.
Terrific season last year, got himself into 2nd in the championship behind Loeb with a fantastic 2nd half of the season.
Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, fast approaching these last couple of does tighten up towards the end of this corner, doesn't it? This stage, doesn't it?
It does. More and more gravel starting to come through as well. Not that that's such an issue with only the 4Ks, but if it was a longer stage, the drivers would be concerned about the gravel poking through.
Absolutely. Jari-Matti, well, he keeps saying he's not going to think about championships until later, but let's see, he's over the bridge. Just that tight right-hander to come. Let's have a look.
23-4.
3rd place. Well, surprise from Ogier there. He seemed to, well, I don't know. So. Not sure Sebastian thinks it's good enough, but anyway, he stays out front for now.
Ogier needs to have the points.
Yep, he does. Well, Petter Solberg, what can we say about this man? He is the 2003